There you are.
Hey!
Whoa, that was unexpected. What's up, buddy?
He's bang on time as usual. Bang on time, brilliant. Good to see you, dude. All right, yeah, we're live again.
And he's got his sugar cubes.
He's got his cubes.
He's already on them. Nice. They should really pay you, or just give you free sugar cubes.
Should get advertisement rights or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, we're live, guys. Obviously, best show of the week, apart from England versus America on Hefty's channel on Hefty TV. That is the second one. Hi, Matt. But yeah, so sorry, we haven't done much lately, guys. We've been extremely busy with work, everything else. I've even got a video on a camera that's still sat in there that I haven't even looked at yet, that I filmed Monday. So,
wow.
Like, bear with, we are getting there. Hence why tonight hasn't been advertised much neither. But yeah, so tonight we're doing Cryptids.
Hey, Rob.
I doing Rob, and we're doing like things about the Mothman, Loch Ness monster, and everything in between. So yeah,
no, look at Nick. He's excited, buddy.
It's going to be a good show. So before we start, obviously we spoke in the green room. Nick, how you doing, buddy? How's your week been?
Been doing pretty good. I mean, obviously, as you guys saw, I just recently came back from Ohio a few days ago, which was a fantastic trip. It was just, I was so happy that some of my friends were able to come out, and it looked like they enjoyed it. I mean, I hope so, but we're probably going to do it again sometime in a couple weeks. This time possibly heading up to Wisconsin, but for, I don't know about an investigation, but at least for another Paracon that's happening near the end of June.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, wicked, yeah.
I want to ask quickly, by the way, where's Marty?
Amy fired him. She was tired of his garbage, and she was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Sorry, dude. You got to go.
Oh, God. Jeez.
Yeah, it's fired.
No, Marty's getting out of baseball game.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a second. I didn't get any word about this.
I'm sorry.
You guys sneak me out there for a sec.
He's at a baseball game, so it will. If it does get called off, he said he will try and jump in.
You didn't take him off the thumbnail, though.
Yeah, I should have took him off from there as well.
Yeah, should have.
Yeah, he doesn't deserve to be on there.
But if he's going to be back next week, isn't that too much work? Like to take him off and then put him back on? We were all tired of Marty's garbage.
Yep,
nice.
Yeah, I might just take him off permanently until he earns his place back.
Yeah, he's got to come. Yeah, he's got to make it up.
And off of the little.
You know what he needs to do?
Yeah.
There's only one way he could get his place back, in my opinion. Buy and sponsor more sugar cubes.
Wow. Should we also mention Raid Shadow Legends while we're like just chilling for people here?
Oh, guys, one more thing I forgot to mention about the Ohio trip. As you guys saw that I put this on our Marco poll. I should have done it on Facebook Live instead. I had the opportunity of interviewing Mike Ricksecker for a couple minutes. He's still doing great. I just bought his new book, Walk in the Shadows. Of course, I had to read my story first before reading the rest of it. But, yeah, great book, and he's definitely has agreed to wanting to come back on at some point in the future.
Awesome, yeah,
I'm sure
definitely.
he'll have a lot to tell us when it comes to being at Egypt.
Yeah.
Right.
That'll be wicked. That.
I mean, if anything, we should wait until he gets back from his trip to Egypt and then interview, because I'd love to hear the stories he can tell for us.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Pyramids.
Yeah, because he's going inside the pyramids, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Quite
That'd be awesome.
hard to do, actually.
Yeah. You have to have special permission that. But yeah, so tonight we're going to be speaking about cryptids. For people that obviously think, what's a cryptid? I was like, what's a cryptid to be honest? I don't know. So a cryptid is a monster or a beast that is believed to be real but has not been proven real or not real. Such as, like we say, the Mothman. That's obviously out where you are, Nick.
Mm-hmm.
There's Bald Boy in the comments there.
There it is.
We've been talking about you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're fine, Mike.
And you know what's funny? There's lots of them. There's lots of cryptids. Every country, every state, just everybody has their own something.
Oh yeah.
You know.
I mean, I've literally have gone through almost like more than half the states, and there's never really a state that doesn't have a cryptid. There's always something lurking, in the woods or
in the lake, or
caves, lakes, even the skies.
Isn't there supposed to be one here at Sherwood Forest? It's the green monster or something.
Yeah, so we have one here. They call it the Green Man.
Wait, there's really a Sherwood Forest?
Yeah.
Well, like Robin Hood. I didn't know it was a real place. It's like saying there's actually a Mount Doom from Lord of the Rings. I'm like, wait, that's a real place?
Yeah, Robin Hood is real.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wait, Robin Hood was real?
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Really?
Because I wasn't. I mean, not that
I didn't know that. I had no idea Robin Hood was real. Robin Hood Loxley was.
It's like a 5-minute drive.
Yeah.
5 minutes from there in Robin Hood Forest.
Well, I am stupid. I honestly had no idea. Very interesting. The Green Monster, you say?
Yes, the Green Man is obviously in Sherwood Forest, where Robin Hood is. And this is supposed to be an elemental creature that created the earth and stuff like this. And they believe that this Green Man can it's the destroyer, but also the creator sort of thing. So when nature takes over, they believe that this is the elemental Green Man taking back over the world, and that, which is supposed to be in Sherwood Forest, which we will be doing an investigation there at some point.
Oh
wow!
Going back to Robin Hood though, what was you taught about Robin Hood then?
Well, we weren't really taught anything. If anything, Disney taught me that it was a fox that was dressed and had a bear as Friar Tuck, and I thought they could all talk. So until I was 30.
See,
I thought they were talking foxes and bears out there that wore hats and lived in England. No, nothing really. I guess. I mean, you know the story. It's a book. I just always assumed it was just a really neat. Rob from the rich gave to the poor. He had the sheriff of Nottingham was a right wanker, and
yeah, it's all true.
Yeah, it's all true. There's debate on
We've even got
who he really was and was he really called Robin Hood and all this and stuff.
There's a lot of those. It's Jack the Ripper, Robin Hood. Nobody knows who he is.
He didn't necessarily wear green either.
No.
We've actually got here as well Robin Hood Airport.
Yeah.
Do you really? That is really. And if you look at the comments, none of us knew that was was real.
Right, isn't it? For some reason, it's quite normal. It's right on.
That's why I laughed. I thought that's everyone should know.
It's normal for us.
Wow, that's crazy cool.
I mean, I don't know if it's anything like the films you see, obviously, with Kevin Costner and that.
Yeah.
Anything like that, but it's the general story is there about the sheriff of Nottingham and that.
Yeah.
No kidding, huh?
Yeah.
See, there was a site that I came across, which I'm actually going to put the logo on the back. Probably, you guys are familiar with something called Paranormal Database, right? You guys ever been to that site?
I've heard of it. I haven't been on it. I've heard of it.
It's a really interesting site because it mostly focuses on obviously haunted locations as well as cryptids and legends in the UK. This is the actual logo, so in case you guys want to check it out later. And they had a page about Robin Hood. So, and by the way, this is kind of an ironic logo to it.
What?
He's got the head underneath his arm. Yeah.
What the hell?
Wait, wasn't that like the Canterville ghost or something like that did that? That had his head under his arm, or am I just making that up? I don't know. I don't know stuff.
Famous thing with ghosts, isn't it?
They have.
I've seen too many movies.
They have all these really interesting areas of the site where they have different types of legends, ghost stories, cryptids, UFOs, everything you could think of, but it's mostly. See, when I first discovered it was actually back when I was in high school, there was stuff they were saying about Civil War. And I first thought they were talking about the Civil War here in the United States, not realizing it was actually focusing on civil wars that occurred in the UK. And it's not just, and of course, obviously, not only is it just focusing on, just England itself, Scotland, Ireland, and Wales is featured on it. So might be something you guys may want to check out. And who knows? Some of these locations may not be too far from you guys.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
Yeah.
for us, it's like the UK. There's nowhere we can't really go in like what, a day or two. I mean,
Right.
I think we're
We
based
can-
quite nicely though in the UK. where
yeah, I
we're-
mean, we can be at the top of Scotland in probably about a 7-hour drive, 8-hour drive, right at the top of Scotland. And then, like I say, when I go down to my dad's, who's right down south, that's only a 4 or 5 hour drive.
That's crazy.
Right.
That's the whole UK. So yeah, almost anything.
Whereas for you can
is available.
We looked at like dates.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And like
I'll
I say,
send you guys the link later. So you
yeah,
guys
definitely, man. Yeah, we'll definitely check that out because we're going to try and obviously get out there a bit more and visit some more places for you guys and get some more footage and stuff. Especially these ones that you can go anytime, like obviously Sherwood Forest and stuff like that. And
Hey, Irene. Irene's watching.
Oh,
Hi,
Japan.
hi,
Yeah, from Japan.
Hello, Japan.
Hi.
wow, must be
Yeah, Adam. This was before.
really early.
This was before you came on. We actually had Irene once on our show. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, she's a really good friend of ours.
Yeah,
So
Well,
far,
hi,
as far as I
Irene.
know, the only investigator we know of that lives in Tokyo, Japan, or in all of Japan, I would say.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we got Chantel from South Africa.
South Africa, we have the
Yep.
top. She says in South Africa we have the Tokoloshi. Apologies if I just said that really wrong.
Chocolate.
Tokoloshi.
Chocolate.
We'll look that one up.
And
Yeah,
Siren
yeah.
had too. I saw her.
What-
She wrote earlier.
There's
Oh, and she
one
liked
here-
that I said wanker. Yeah.
There's one here I want to speak about tonight. So obviously
4 a.m.
this-
Jeez.
Oh, it's not a very big picture. I'll try and drop this picture in anyway.
It's a good one though.
So this one you guys have probably heard of is obviously in the
Let's see
thumbnail.
if they can get.
Oh, cool.
Loch Ness Monster.
Loch Ness
Yeah.
Monster.
So the Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah.
This is an actual image of the Loch Ness Monster.
I think.
Yep.
I think it is it.
This
From,
one, though, apparently, before you get like ahead of yourselves, has been debunked.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's a turtle. Yeah, I read it was like a
Yeah,
certain
they-
species
it's
of
It's
turtle.
not
or
a
something.
turtle.
It's not.
They say it was originally taken back in 1934.
Yeah, so this one was done as a hoax. What this is a plastic dummy. It's obviously the head, and then there's a float that's partially sunk that sits underneath the water. That's why it's got this ring. So basically, he sank it, and then when it bobbed up, he took the photo to make it look like
Oh, that's annoying.
it bobbed up, and it's
I'm
actually
with Amy on that. That's it. I liked it better when it was a turtle.
Yeah.
And then it's just like a straight hoax altogether. I'm like, oh.
It's called cocaine sniffany. Chantel.
Matt said the bent arm sticking out of the water.
Yeah, right. But that is the most infamous picture of Ness here, or
It
up
is
until
infamous.
Oh yeah.
I believe that it exists. I think.
Yeah, I mean, so,
Hey,
We
guys,
haven't
I also
switched
looked
to
up
water.
with what Chantel was talking about. Damn it, connection. Sorry, my connection's going weird.
no,
I
you're
didn't
fine.
mean to-
No, you guys-
I was looking up what Chantel was talking
Oh,
about. That creature. It's actually called the Tikoloshi, I think it is. There's a Wiki page on it. It says it's a dwarf-like water sprite. It is considered a mischievous and evil spirit that can become invisible by drinking water or swallowing a stone. Tokoloshis are called upon by malevolent people to cause trouble for others, so much like satanic worshiping. At its least harmful, a Tokoloshi can be used to scare children, but its power extends to causing illness or even the death of the victim. The creature might be banished by a pastor, so the same as an exorcism, especially with see, I have trouble with some of these words too.
That's okay, buddy.
Calling, who has the power to expel from the area. It is also considered a part of superstition, is often used in a satirical manner as a reference to overcome.
Okay, that's interesting.
What
Yeah.
happened to having
Yeah.
the monster in the cupboard to scare children?
Yeah.
So basically, it's a sprite, so it's like one of those dwarf goblin-like creatures.
So even Irene said that they have the kappa out there.
The kappa, yep, I've heard of the kappa.
Half turtle. They're everywhere, and like I say, this Loch Ness monster is like one of the originals in the UK. This for those that don't know, that obviously Loch Ness monster is up in Scotland in a place called Loch Ness. So it's a body of water that is open to the open ocean, but they call it a loch. and it is often described as a large, long-necked with humps protruding from the water. Popular interest and belief has varied since it was brought to worldwide attention in 1933, which is what you said, Nick.
33, yeah.
Yeah. Evidence of its existence is anecdotal, with a number of disputed photographs and sonar readings. So they have done sonar on this loch, and the majority of people, though, say this, that sonar, like the ones that you will see on documentaries, caught nothing. There's nothing out there. However, like it's open to the open ocean, so
yeah, so it can,
it can come and go.
We've researched more about our space than we have our own waters.
Oh yeah, oh absolutely.
Right.
So who's
We also have to remember too, Loch Ness has also been believed to be much even deeper than the ocean itself. I mean, they literally say Loch Ness is 800 feet deep. The ocean's only 400 feet deep. That's only about half of that, but Loch Ness is even deeper. I don't know if it's actually considered the deepest lake in the world, but it definitely is considered one of the deepest.
In Vermont, here in the States, they have a relative to Nessie. It's like the American version, Champ, Lake Champlain monster.
Yeah, Lake Champlain.
Oh, yeah, that's basically like same deal. Like it's like a Nessie kind of.
No, that's wicked.
Yeah, let me get a photo. I mean, if you guys want to look it up too, go right ahead. I'm gonna put it up so that way people can see us on the background. There actually was supposedly a photograph that was taken of Champ back in 1977, and this is a pretty compelling image. It's still up to debate. People have still been trying to debunk it, but and even now, you can even still see like artwork of what could it actually be. So, give me 1 second here. And so, while I'm getting this up, the story goes is that in 1977, there was a family that was kind of out near the side of Lake Champlain, and just a simple, summer afternoon. They're just having, family, just having a good time as a family. And all of a sudden, they see this, what looked like this head coming out of the water, which was about several hundred yards away. Of course, they first thought it was a log, but when they actually saw the supposed log was actually moving, and not just because of the waves, like the top of it was actually moving on its own. And of course, the parents realized this was something else, so they told their kids to get out of the water immediately. But just before they fled the area, the mother of that group ran for her camera and took a photograph of this before it dived back into the water. And I got it now. So what you guys are about to see, this is the actual photo that they took that day of what is believed to be Champ, and they describe it almost. Oh, wait a sec. Hang on. I've hit the limit. So I hate when they give you a limit of how many backgrounds you could have.
If you actually hit a limit of background.
Oh, yeah.
You only get like 20 of them. I hate it.
Only Nick could do that.
I love he can only do 20. Like he's got 20 just ready to go at any point. I love it.
So here we go. Now, this is the actual photo that was taken, and since this photo was taken in 77, I think the mom might be still, the woman who took it might still be alive today. She still firmly believes that this was actually some type of plesiosaur dinosaur that she captured. She has argued with so many skeptics. And yes, some people have said that one of the ideas of what it could have been it could have been a log, because obviously some logs, stick out from the side of it. But it's a little bit hard for me to believe it, because as you can see, first off, it's not its usual dark brown. Yeah, first off, you can see it's not its usual dark brown color. Kind of greenish. Now, yes, it is a possibility it could still be a log, because maybe it's covered in algae. That could be one idea. But like I said, according to this woman, she said this thing was moving. So
it's
got a definition to it. So.
And it looks like it's making some sort of wake around it. So
it's pushing against the wall.
As you could see, they were only able to see the hump in the neck and head. They weren't able to basically see the whole thing. Of course, like as many people would say when it comes to certain encounters like this, it seemed like it lasted for an eternity, but I think the entire encounter only lasted for about 2 or 3 minutes. It was relatively brief. And I'm surprised she didn't take more photographs, but this was right before it went back into the water.
That's what they say also about like the Loch Ness one. They think it's like a plesiosaurus or something. Like they still think they might have died out now, but they still think like back then that these things were still around. A couple of them at least.
Who say it's not around now?
They could be still around now. We just haven't seen them. I mean, the ocean's vast. They say we know more about the moon than our own ocean. So.
And deep. I mean, look at the Mariana Trench. That is like the deepest part on like the planet. It goes like miles and miles down. It's like
you haven't got a clue what's down there.
Nope, nothing I want to encounter.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all I know. Nothing I want to run into.
In the ocean.
The other thing about Champ, and this is what I find really interesting, it probably has been seen many more times and probably a lot longer than the Loch Ness Monster, because the first official sighting of Loch Ness Monster, even though there were probably sightings before that, the first official one that's been documented goes back to about 210 years ago in 1811. For Champ, that's been seen since I think since the 1760s. So unless there were other sightings that had been found, Champ has been seen much more than Nessie has.
Wow, that's crazy. It could be Nessie. Might have just moved.
Exactly.
I was thinking that. Like, what if Nessie is? What if? Nessie's just boss, and just does the inner. You know, why not?
Get out. Just goes to different countries on holiday.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a lot of cryptozoologists believe that Champ is considered a relative of Loch Ness Monster, and there are other creatures out there. Believe it or not, Champ is not the only one. There's definitely more out there.
They're definitely believable, definitely. I was going to drop a few comments in. We have been reading your comments, Sam. So Rob had a comment earlier. He said, every picture of Bigfoot is blurry. Maybe it's just out of focus. It's very scared to me that there's a giant 7-foot out of focus creature running around. Which is true. All these Bigfoot finds.
Yeah, that was Mitch Hedberg was a comedian years ago that said that who had passed, but it's a very, very funny yeah.
I just clicked the wrong one.
No, that was good too.
Oh yeah.
Farting fish, that's always good.
It turned out to be a giant dog flashing on there, and that's brilliant, Chantal.
While you guys are searching for the next, I'm actually going to show one more image I think you guys will find compelling. Again, it's up to what you guys think and what people in the comments will think.
Yeah.
Here's another quick example of another plesiosaur. Now, this one, they were actually able to get up close and personal to. This is one of the least known ones. It's called the Monster of Monterey, Monterey Bay, California. And while I haven't really found a lot of sightings about it, they say that in 1925, there was this carcass that washed up on the beach at Monterey Bay, California. And the way how they described it, very much described it like a plesiosaur. It had a long neck. It had this beaked kind of head. Of course, it was a carcass. It smelled horrific. And I'm getting the photo up right now, so give me a second. So you got, and by the way, because Amy, I know you have a fear of sharks. It's not a shark.
As well.
It's not a shark.
Had a good point about the other one as well. She said the orca fin, it looks like a bent orca fin. That other one, which could be possible. These orcas do come into these inland waters sometimes.
This is one of the 4 photos were taken of this. So this is one of the photos that they took back in 1925, and you guys decide what you guys think. So this is the actual photo.
Oh, I've seen that picture actually. I forgot. I forgot about that.
Yeah, you can see there's a long neck to it. It's got a head, shaped like that of a dinosaur with this beak neck. Now, once again, there has been theories of what it could actually be. Some people say it could have been a beaked whale because you do see an air hole by the side of its head.
I was thinking,
some people say it could have been some type of, and I'm sorry, maybe a possible basking shark that may have already been dead, but the long neck and the head.
So decomposed, it's hard to.
It's not even a good picture of it either.
Make out an actual shape, really, because it's been all decomposed. It's very difficult to see that shape.
I would have taken a better picture of it, though.
Yeah, I'm going to see.
It looks genuine. I do think that's a dead
basking shark's mouths would be considerably wider than that, and not as pointy, and the body and there wouldn't be like flipperdoodles. There would be like the dorsal, pectoral, the anal fins, and all that good stuff. I love sharks, but I'm scared.
You said a beach whale.
Here's one of the other pictures that I got. So this can give you a better view of it because, like I said, 4 photographs were taken of this. Here's a better look at the head itself. Like this is actually focusing on the head. So let me get rid of that one first. So this might give you a little bit more detail.
Actually quite
All right, so there we go. All right.
Oh yes,
that looks like a dolphin.
It does like a dolphin.
It kind of does. That's another thing.
Yeah, that's not an accident. That's on purpose.
Chantel says it looks like a giant octopus. They have beaks and they look like tentacles. I never thought of it looking like an octopus.
It could, like Amy said, it could be a deformed dolphin. I mean, they do get born deformed at times.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, possible. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it could be a type of dolphin that we don't even know about, maybe.
Yeah.
Like
what's kind of scary is that, although I haven't found any other sightings like this, some people claim that there have been sightings of what they call this monster of Monterey. And what makes it kind of scary, they also say there have been numerous disappearances off Monterey Bay. Like, for example, in 2007, there was a fisherman who disappeared after he only went for a day trip out to sea. And then there was another case where another fisherman went out to sea. No one heard from him for a few days, so they went to go search for him, and they found his boat still out in the ocean with the engine still running, and it's still unclear if his death was that of a tragic accident or an attack by an unknown animal.
Yeah,
that's crazy. He ate one of those ones. That doesn't surprise me.
You ate one of those.
Yeah.
Give us the clue.
Chantel said to me, it looks like a giant octopus. They have beaks and those like tentacles. Yeah, could be.
Very true.
That's right.
There's so many possibilities, but I mean,
it looks like a deformed
it's hard to
dolphin.
know. Yeah, I'm going towards a more deformed dolphin.
Flipper's like cousin that nobody talks about.
It's that shape of its like mouth.
See you later, Marty.
Later, Marty. You're fired, bro. You're fired.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. Have a good game. See you later.
You have to win the next game of Shot of the Dark, otherwise you're not in.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. We won't let him in until he wins the. Okay.
Yeah, like soon as
like the Marty band. The Marty band. Oh, I like that.
About these ghost ships as well, and there's a lot of these. I've got a mysteries book that I'm going to bring up a few in some shows that I'm going to do, and there's been a lot of ships that have been found, like you said, Nick, where everything on board's not touched. Everything is left as almost as if people just vanished.
The Mary Celeste, I believe that's one.
Like, what happened to these people? They were there. Where did they go? Like, there's no evidence
trace of them were ever found.
Yeah,
like, even
no traces of like, violence or anything bad going on the ships. They just vanish. There's even ones where there's still been hot food and drink on the ship, like still there. That's just been cooked, and there's nobody around. Like, it's crazy that this does actually happen in the middle of our oceans.
Yeah.
Ghost ships all around Japan. Irene says.
Yeah, that's true.
They're everywhere. Like it is.
The Dragon's Triangle they have over there, which is like the Bermuda Triangle of,
They're saying a lot of them are links as well, aren't they? They think that these Bermuda Triangle and like the Dragon, they think it's like a link, almost like a portal.
Probably like a magnetic maybe from the Earth.
Oh, that's a good point. I didn't think of that, Amy. Yeah, like a magnetic.
What's interesting too is the Dragon's Triangle, due to research, some of the research I've discovered, it's probably had more disappearances than the Bermuda Triangle. And the way how these disappearances occur in the Dragon's Triangle is a lot more paranormal in nature than the Bermuda Triangle.
There is one. They do believe that in this Bermuda Triangle, there's actually a cryptid that comes out of the sea and actually swallows these ships and I'm trying to find
that one there.
Which one?
The Bermuda Triangle monster.
Where are you looking at?
The drawing of it.
There's loads of drawings.
The one on the far right.
That one. Yeah, so this is quite an old one. I'll bring this one up. This is not the one I saw.
The only reason why I think magnetic pole is because planes and all that have like a lot.
Yeah, their instruments go nuts and stuff when they go on it.
Yeah,
that's one of them. There is a better one I've seen. I can't remember. I can't find it though.
Almost like a mermaid.
It's like Marty's dog mixed with a mermaid mixed with a dolphin.
Almost like you guys have heard like the Kraken, haven't you? Like
Kraken, of course.
They do believe that this. Yeah, the Bermuda Triangle referred to as sea of monsters in Greek mythology. It is.
It's called
Cilia.
I'll search that now while you guys are chatting. But I have seen there's another one. It's almost like a dragon type thing, but it's got a dragon's head, but then like a serpent's body.
Isn't that the Jersey Devil?
That's
now what it is?
Same type of thing. Yeah, same type of thing. Where the Jersey Devil is here somewhere. I had it on here somewhere. There you go.
It's got it all going here.
I'm here.
Tuna is the Bermuda Triangle monster. Well, we now know who Tuna is.
Now we know what it is.
There we go. Mystery is done.
That's the Jersey Devil.
I would never go. I just want to say to Irene real quick, I would never go swimming A in the sea or B in the Sea of Japan because I have seen some crazy friggin' animals being pulled out of that ocean. And I'm like, yeah, no.
You go swimming there and it's black. I would never.
I would never do that.
Never.
Adam, here's a question for you. Whatever you've seen, was one of them Godzilla?
No, but there was a Cloverfield something or other.
Oh, Clover, yeah.
No, that was a great movie. But no, I don't really dig Godzilla. Well, that's topic for another time. But
what about the giant octopus?
That's the big things, like the giant squids and like these just ridiculous looking sharks and like lots of them and all sorts of stuff they pull out of the ocean. I'm like, I'm good.
Well, they know these giant squids do exist, but the ones they've captured, they think are juveniles.
Yeah.
They've got eyes the size of a basketball.
Yeah.
That's his eye.
Yeah. I'm like, no thanks. Yeah, no thank you.
I'm sorry, Irene. I would never go swimming for that reason.
Well, here's actually something for Irene, actually. I think Irene's might have heard about this. This is actually kind of another one of these lake monsters we're talking about. This was another big famous photo. You guys have probably seen this one. This was actually captured off the coast of New Zealand, also in 1977. It was a Japanese trawler that happened to be off the coast of New Zealand. And, they were obviously doing fishing, of course, trying to get fish so they could take it back to Japan. And while they were fishing, all of a sudden they came across this carcass. And I know it's not the full photo. There's not much I can do about showing them, unless you guys have the picture. But, of course, once again, just like the photo from 1925, this was a carcass that had already been rotting. And it has that long neck once again. And it was just pulled randomly from the ocean. This was not like a carcass that just happened to be floating on top of the water, like saying, what's that? They found it while they were digging up for fish. And they once again say, could this be a plesiosaur? Or they also say this could definitely be possibly a basking shark because you could really see this corpse really decompose.
That's a problem.
We hit champ already, brother.
In fact, funny enough, when I was just telling you about Godzilla, that photo actually later became featured in a Godzilla movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was in they used it. I can't remember what part, but they used it in the movie Godzilla versus King Ghidorah, which they were saying that I guess it was like because they had similar creatures like that. So the photo is briefly shown. So it's another famous photograph.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that either.
Yeah. Yeah, and they think also a lot of these that they pull up because they're badly decomposed or they've been badly attacked. They think what was bigger than this to kill this? That's the question, isn't it? This is what. So thank you, Chantal. I have found it. So this is the monster that's supposed to be in obviously the Bermuda Triangle. That's like a drawing version. I can't find anything better. But obviously you can see it's got like the dragon's head. This one's got two heads.
It reminds me of Hercules.
And then like the serpent's body.
With the monster, I have to kill it and then it grows more heads.
And
the Hydra, you cut one off, another.
The Hydra, I think that's what it's called in Stories of Hercules. That's the sad part too with some of these creatures. I realized, the photo I have here, the hardest part was they collected only a few samples of this carcass. They were never able to fully collect a whole bunch, so they never were really able to identify what it was. Because as soon as they found the corpse, they took a few photographs of it, and then just dumped it back into the ocean. And when they tried to go back and look for it, it was completely gone. So my guess was either decomposed completely, or it probably would have been devoured by sharks or something
definitely.
else.
Something,
Jeff had a good point about obviously the Bermuda Triangle. This is more like the scientific approach that is quite believable. He says there's been an interesting small-scale demo of how methane bubbles from the seafloor can be responsible for lost ships, and it does actually happen. So you get if you get a large release of gas from the seafloor, it goes up to the ship will sink instantly. It won't go down slowly. It just drops like a stone.
Well, that doesn't explain.
And that explains why they vanished. But that is only the ship.
It doesn't explain the plane.
Right.
It does not explain the plane. But then you could possibly say the planes are because obviously you said the magnetic pull messes up their navigational equipment, which is true with Amelia Earhart, how she went missing.
Yep.
Her navigational equipment did go haywire and she was never found.
Dr. Sam Beckett and Quantum Leap. That happened.
Yeah, that all came from the Dragon's Triangle, and very few have ever managed to get through the entire triangle and made it back to shore. There was like one air pilot that did back in 1955, so almost 20 years after Amelia Earhart disappeared. But he was one of the few that he had air trouble at one point. So you can pretty much call him a survivor of the Dragon's Triangle.
Yeah.
Crazy.
This happens. I don't know why this stuff isn't reported more, because like there's thousands of ships and aircraft that go missing in these triangles, and it's like, oh yeah, no one's gone missing.
Traces never found of them.
What? Like, why aren't we like investigating this more? Surely we should be doing everything we can to find out what is going on here.
No, because we'd rather explore the.
Yeah, or we do know, but they're just too frightened to tell us what the actual crack is, and because you know what I mean.
That's true.
But yeah, so obviously we're going to talk about Nick's favorite one, the Mothman. I'll let you roll this one, Nick. Obviously, you are the Mothman. You know this stuff.
He is the Mothman. Oh,
so I'll bring up a picture for you guys wondering that have never seen Mothman. That's a really shit picture.
I'm actually getting a photo right now, so while you're getting I'll get my picture ready.
He's always got a photo ready.
What about the Megalodon?
Megalodon,
Megalodon, man, I really hope. I mean, I know they existed. I really hope they don't still. Again, you will never catch me in open water. You will never catch me in open water.
My greatest fear.
That they don't really exist. I mean,
how many times, like, even just like the normal things that we know about that live there, we do not belong in the ocean. Like, we are land creatures.
No.
Yeah.
I am not going swimming in open ocean. I'm sorry. When you're out there, you're food.
Yeah, you go from the top of the food chain, then you go into the water, and you go to like the bottom of the food chain.
You're not putting in nothing.
You're below the fish poo.
Yeah.
We know.
Below the
Believe
thing
it or not,
fish poo.
just before we get to Mothman, it should be noticed, and this is something about all these creatures in the ocean. Obviously, and Amy, I'm sorry once again, but there's one creature out there that has actually been considered a cryptid, and that was the largest shark that ever lived, Megalodon. And what's fascinating was, first of all, do you guys remember there was a documentary they made 10 years ago on Megalodon, which became very, very controversial? Do you guys remember seeing some back in 2013? Do you guys ever remember a program? It was during Shark Week, of course. Do you guys remember a program of some group that was out in the ocean and they disappeared? You guys see that?
No.
I've seen something about, because I watched a documentary about this, about that kind
Yeah,
of thing.
there was back in 2013. There were these college kids that, early mid-20s. They were out in the ocean. They were doing, they were just having a summer to get together, and all of a sudden one night they supposed to get attacked by the shark, and you don't actually see it, but someone's yelling out "shark," and then the rest of the documentary claims they found evidence, as well as trying to search for it. The problem was it became like it was a Blair Witch effect, as I call it, because some people thought these people actually were disappeared. It later turned out it was fake, and a lot of people were not happy about it because they really thought these people had died. It was not like you saw with Blair Witch. They basically were lying completely. But doing some research, there's only ever been truly 2 actual sightings of supposedly Megalodon, and those were 60 to 100 years ago. One back in 1918, another in 1960. So they describe the same thing. They describe it as a ghostly white shark, and it puts so much fear into the fishermen's eyes that they refused to go back near the ocean again afterwards. It really scared them, and they knew this was no ordinary shark that they saw.
Further to that, what I saw is that they did this experiment. They tracked great white sharks. They put these trackers into their skin, so they found this one. It was one of those
tracking devices. It beams back information to where they're going.
Yeah,
they beam back information to where they're going so they can keep tracking, because obviously we're trying to save them, because there's a lot of people out there who's been killing them for shark fin soup, which I'm highly against. So that way they could try to save them, because yes, they're scary and all, but we desperately need them. They're like the hunters of the ocean, much like
they
keep them from to keep other fishes from overpopulating.
This one that they tracked, it was one of the biggest they've ever found. I can't remember the size, but they tracked it and they can see like its depth and stuff, like what it's doing. All of a sudden, this great white shark dived at a rate that it should never dive.
Yeah,
and it went down to a depth that it shouldn't go, and all of a sudden it vanished. It vanished, and then they're saying, why did it vanish? Something consumed it that was bigger than what it is. That's the only way it could vanish. And to vanish that quickly, it had to have almost eaten it whole.
It was tuna.
It's probably tuna. It happens. It's scientific proof. This does happen.
That's insane. And again, just the fact that there's so many, and it's like Chantel was saying, it's not just sharks, man. There's like all sorts of stuff. There's like some sea snail or sea slug or something like that will kill you before you're it's so venomous it'll kill you before you're back on land or something like that. It's absolutely insane. It's absolutely ridiculous. I'm like, you know what? I'll take my chances driving to work. I'll take my chances getting hit by lightning. But when you go in the water, man, you're.
I'd rather go in a pool.
I've been
even in some pools, I get freaked out. I legitimately get freaked out, and if they're big enough, I'm like, and I know there's nothing there, but
I do. The wave pools where they have the grill underneath the water.
Yep.
No, I'm not going in there.
Yes, he is doing it.
I'm gonna come out of there. I just don't like that at all.
I actually fell once in the ocean when we were on a cruise. We were using jet skis, my dad and I. And we hit a wave. We were 2 miles off the shore, and we fell in. I'm freaking out. I was 15 at the time. One thing I always get that term of saying, "Don't look down." I didn't look down because I didn't want to see this big face coming towards me.
I've done that. I went same thing on a jet ski out in Cyprus, and I'm going along happy days, and I looked down, and because the water was clear, I saw something very large and black moving below me. I don't know. It was huge. I don't know what it was, but that was me. I was out.
I've not got good memories of the ocean, to be honest. One of them would be almost drowning.
Yeah.
Oh.
Another one was standing on a sea urchin.
Oh.
Spiked in the foot.
Straight for a foot.
And every time you try to dig them out,
they
went deeper into my foot.
Oh.
I prefer pools.
Yeah. I had a jellyfish. I had a jellyfish wrapped around my leg when I was a kid.
Oh,
I've got a scar. I got a scar on my leg the rest of my life.
That's crazy.
Yeah. We've had some bad experiences with water.
Nick right now frozen looks like the world's scaredest evil demon.
Yeah.
He's got the wings. Oh, now it's back. But actually, it's funny you say that. T-Bone, when we were kids, in Lake George, which is a popular place up here in New York, fell in between the boat and the dock when we were going on to my grand. So he was, and my uncle actually jumped in to save him, and it was, it was great. I mean, I was young, so I can't even remember how old he was, but
wow.
I'm just so yeah, the drowning whole thing, the whole man, I'm good on all that.
I've had a few times. I'm getting drowned in pools.
Twice. Shark fins are young. Shark fins are not good. They're terrible. I never will eat one.
Chewing and sharking to you.
Like I say, I wouldn't kill animals need to see,
No,
but I don't see
Chicago, when we had our previous president, not from before, but our previous from Barack Obama, who is a Chicago native, he banned shark fin soup here in Chicago, so we no longer sell it over here. So, and I mean, much to the dismay of the Asian communities, because that's where a lot of that comes from. But it's illegal. You cannot make it here.
Yeah, same here. Same in the UK. Like,
a lot of countries are starting to do that. They're starting to ban it. They're saying we gotta stop doing this. We're gonna kill. If we keep killing these sharks, we're gonna make this environment a lot worse than it already is.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's been down to like the sonar sounds obviously beach all the dolphins and sharks and whales and that. Yeah. I think they should be banned.
Jeff said as well he still remembers that Hefty.
Hey Howard,
that's crazy.
It was scary. It was scary as anything, man. Like, he was underwater for again, it was one of those things where it was probably very, very quickly, but it was
like forever.
A sufficient amount of time for people to be pooping their pants and be like, "Oh my God, is he going to be okay when he pulls them up?"
And I know exactly where you're coming from, Jeff, because when I was in the pool and I nearly drowned, that's all I remember is looking up, and all I remember is seeing bubbles and daylight. That's it. It does. It stays with you, that kind of shit. So.
That's why I don't go to sea.
Yeah. But anyway, we've gone on a massive time.
Where do we go there? Oh, boy.
Where on earth do we end up?
Well, we have like 10 minutes left in the show. Wait, what's going on?
We got 15 minutes.
So, Nick, the Mothman dude, fill us in.
Well, for starters, obviously, a Mothman is probably one of them. In this case, one of the most notorious flying cryptids. I mean, where it originally started out in West Virginia, has now become another big worldwide cryptid. It's often, I'm actually going to turn so you guys can see it. It's often described as a man or bird, despite its name, actually. Let's get to that first. Despite its name, it's no way in any way, shape, or form moth-like. It's often described as a bird, man-shaped creature, usually anywhere between 6 to 9 feet tall. It has a wingspan of 10 to 15 feet, which are often described usually as bat-like wings. Now, sometimes, yes, as you can see in this art photo, there are times where sometimes they're described as like feathers, but most of the time, it's usually bat wings. For most people who usually will see it, they usually don't really, it doesn't really seem to have a head, as you can see in this picture. It's almost like as if its face is kind of in its chest, if you will. No one's ever reported seeing its feet other than its legs, which they describe as human-like. When it flies, apparently, if you guys heard of a lot of the sightings, most people usually see they see it flying in the air. Yeah. The few times when it's actually been seen on the ground, it almost appears as if it has trouble keeping its balance. It walks, kind of wobbles, if you will, kind of walks like a penguin. But when it flies, it never flaps its wings. It always stays in the air. It more glides in a way. I mean, there are times where sometimes it will flap its wings to kind of get a start, but usually they're just still in the air. And no one's ever really, the only sound it's ever been reported to make is basically a loud squeak. A lot of people would describe it as like a giant mouse almost. It just makes these loud, high-pitched squeaks.
I'm not going to do it, so I know everybody is thinking I'm going to do it. I'm not going to do the noise.
It is prepping for that one. Yeah, that's
now from what I recall too, the Mothman also is kind of like a what do you call it? He was kind of like somebody that predicted bad things to come. Like it was a bad omen, like a harbinger of doom almost.
Yeah, a forerunner of doom. There's been different speculations on what the Mothman could be, because I forgot to mention one other thing about the Mothman is the most notorious feature, and this is where a lot of people get this feeling, is its red eyes. Now, the eyes, some people say they actually glow. Others say it could have just been light reflecting off of it. But they always describe the eyes very differently. Like they say, it's not like it's the red color they talk about. It's like, it's not red like red predator. They say it's like the most unearthly red they've ever seen. And it gives them some type of fear it gives them this belief that something's gonna. It's like it hypnotizes them.
Staring into your soul.
Yeah.
Yeah, but on the strangest part is no one has ever actually seen its face. That's why in a lot of pictures you can only see its eyes.
Yeah.
Yes, most of the time because it's at nighttime. Other times, if it was during the day, it may have been too far away. Only one person has ever actually seen this creature's face. And I think this was back in the 60s. She's still alive, I believe, today, even almost 55 years later. She was 18 back then. So even almost 55 years later, she refuses to basically give the descriptions of what she saw, other than the only thing she ever gave was that the descriptions were horrific and monstrous, like one of the worst things she's ever seen in her life.
Maybe it wears a face mask now for COVID.
It probably does, and that's cool. The Mothman wants to do its part. I'm interested to find out what vaccination it got.
Maybe got its own little dose.
You think that when we talk about all these things, there's a lot of similarities between almost everything we talk about. Like when we're talking with Barry Fitzgerald last week about the screaming thing and it's impending doom. Do you know what I mean? The same thing with the Mothman. Like it's an impending doom. Like if you see this thing, like it's a little bit. There's a lot of these things, and the red eyes and stuff. I know there's a lot of that with seeing extraterrestrials and stuff. They say that it's these red eyes and stuff that they see. It's like there's a lot of links. It's a lot of links. It's strange.
Do you think about what you actually look at on a person? You look at the eyes.
Straight at the eyes. Why the eyes always red?
Wow.
Do you guys
the windows to the soul.
Share something here? This is actually something that I put together a few years ago.
Got the flizer. Oh,
not a video.
I'm sorry, Tuna. You just won the internet, Tuna. Good
he
job.
was ready for that one.
So I'm going to share the screen for just a minute. This is something I actually put together, and it is something revolving around the Mothman. I'm still working on it to this day. I need to update it, speaking of which. This is actually a document that well, you guys can see what I'm seeing right now, right?
Yeah, do you want me to put it on the screen?
Okay. This is a document I put on the Mothman. I've spent like the last literally like 4 or 5 years putting this whole thing together, and you could see. I mean, I know you guys. I know I'm just kind of being through, but the sightings here are just endless. These are like the original ones from Point Pleasant in the 60s, and then we're going to go all the way up forward. And now
we got the never-ending screen of doom.
We've got the never-ending screen. Yeah. We haven't got. We've just got.
See obviously that they still keep going to this day. This is when we started getting them in Chicago.
Nick, we can't see anything.
We can't see anything, but it's the.
We've just had the never-ending screen light.
Boy, this is a good show. I'm loving this.
I thought you guys. Well, you guys said you guys could see what I could see. Hang on, let's try that again.
Like, we can see your screen. I didn't think we could see.
Yeah, we thought you were going somewhere with that. You were going to pull something up. We're just kind of sitting there like, oh, okay.
Okay, let's try this again.
Yeah,
I love it.
I don't know what happened. Seriously, I don't.
So I think.
All right, let's try this again.
I was just reading that one. I was thinking of bad batch of weed.
Right. Yes, we've got it now. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
So, like I said, this is a document that I made over the last couple of years, and again, like this took me about 4 to almost 5 years now, and it gives all this different information about the Mothman that I put. It has all the sightings, including sightings that you never would once think about, had occurred long before. Now, these are obviously the sightings now going to when Point Pleasant started having these. So I know I'm just kind of scrolling through because there really is a lot. There really.
Why do you like the Mothman? Why is that?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Because, first off, for starters, to answer this question, I'm going to fast forward. This is one of the reasons. As the years have rolled on since Point Pleasant, right here now is where we start getting sightings of this creature in Chicago. Like these different photos and sketches are the witnesses from Chicago. what was known as the Chicago Phantom.
You should be a historian, man. Like, this is crazy, like the stuff you do.
I still, and there's so many more out there. I have to. It has been updated since last year, so there's
that's crazy. You did a lot of work in this, dude.
That's 66 pages you've got.
There's 66 pages, and that's probably going to go. I got to fix this up. As you can see, the pictures are kind of
you type all
moved
this up.
I got a lot of that from.
What's up, old AF?
See, I got a lot of it from.
How you doing, Rick?
Lon Strickler, because he was the one who was covering a lot of the sightings of the Chicago Phantom, or Chicago Mothman, if you will. So I got a lot of it, but I also did my own research of these other sightings, and I found out that there were even sightings before the Point Pleasant craze of the 60s. Like, we now believe, because he appears before all these historic disasters, that he may have actually appeared in some of the most historic disasters that the world has ever come across. I know you guys didn't see because I was scrolling through, but here's a few examples. I'm just going to read a quick sample of it. One more possible theory, and most talked about for what Mothman is that it's believed to be similar, as we said, to a Grim Reaper, Banshee, or an omen of death, as sightings of him occur before impending disasters around the world, such as the Great Chicago Fire of 1871, the San Francisco earthquake and fire of 1906, the sinking of the Titanic of 1912, a China dam break which caused a huge flood that killed over 16,000 people in 1926, the Hindenburg explosion of 1937, Pearl Harbor, 1941, the only known earthquake to have ever hit Chicago in 1951, of course, Silver Bridge collapse of December 1967.
I knew. I was I think it's the Silver Bridge. I was pretty sure that was the name of the one.
I said
the Silver Bridge.
Yeah. A mine explosion in 1978, plane crash in Bermuda, 1983, and Mexico City earthquake of 1985, Chernobyl disaster of 1986, even the Challenger explosion.
I was going to make a joke and say the Mothman was in a spacesuit or something, but you beat me to it.
It just keeps going. Even September 11th attack, Columbia 2001, Columbia disaster 2003, swine flu pandemic outbreak of 2005, and even in Japan.
Jamie's right. It could be wearing a COVID mask. Georgie just knocked something over, didn't he?
If Irene is still on, even the Japanese tsunami, the tsunami that occurred in Japan 10 years ago. So
did it beginning last year as well, before this COVID as well?
That's what I was thinking. We were actually concerned about when Mothman started showing up here in Chicago. We're thinking,
no, I'm not surprised, mate. If it's coming up with all these different events, Jesus.
Yeah, we just thought something bad is going to happen. We just know that there is, and guess what? We had COVID that, and I just said it's been seen before epidemics and pandemics prior, so that might be the case. This might be the impending doom.
Well, Chantel had one in, mate. I don't know if you know this. It's just, there's a Mothman museum with a 24-hour live feed camera looking over this country. That's crazy.
I've been there.
You've been there? Oh, you've written 66 pages, so you've definitely been there.
You gotta feel bad almost for the Mothman at some point, because the dude walks into a room and nobody's happy to see him. They're like, oh, great.
Oh, it's you again.
Mothman's here. What's going to break? Who's going to blow up tonight? Okay.
He could be so misunderstood. He could be just trying to make friends and trying to be
hey guys,
trying to warn you of something bad's about to happen. He's trying to be nice, and then we're all
oh, Mothman. He's like, I told you.
The question these missions leave the Emperor with is: are these beings that were originally from our planet, or are these aliens? It's the clues being that Tuna says these
mentioned. So that I think that's Barry that he was talking about.
There we go.
But I want to also answer the rest of. I want to answer the rest of Amy's question. Why the Mothman? Because I didn't really answer it. In addition, like I said to the reports we've had here in Chicago, I don't know exactly what it was about the Mothman that drew me. I mean, most cryptid investigators out there and cryptozoologists usually are always drawn to Bigfoot. My choice usually was Mothman. I think it was just the stories about it. There was just something so odd about I just don't know. Even I still don't have the full answer for it. And yes, like I said, I've been to the Mothman Museum. We went back in 2016, which was for the 50th anniversary of the original Mothman sightings that occurred back in the 60s. And we actually had the opportunity to investigate two of the what were called the igloos, which was where the TNT area was, which were originally storage domes for explosives during World War II. And by the way, if you go there today, for anyone that wants to go, make sure you're going to the right ones. And the reason why I'm saying that is because some of those domes, those igloos, the TNT bunkers, actually still have explosives left from the war. And even almost 85 years later, they are still considered explosive. So just if you ever go,
I'd be that idiot. I'm like, I'm stepping out for a cigarette. Yeah. Boom!
Oops. Yeah, they actually did find proof they could still explode after a while, even after all these years. So make sure to only go to the ones that are completely empty. But when you go to these bunkers, it's like you're stepping in another world. They're like caves. And
yeah, massive.
Like, the way how I'm speaking right now, if I was speaking in the dome, in one of these domes, you would not be able to hear it. It literally will bounce right back to you, and you can actually feel the vibration of your voice. That's like
crazy,
an unearthly feeling there. And we got to go inside. We actually went at night. Not really sure we ever actually encountered anything, but we definitely felt as if something was on top of us watching us while we were there.
Okay. I can.
Would you feel complete if you saw the Mothman?
Well, I may have actually in some way. I'll make a long story short. This is as close as what I've gotten to, and I've actually gotten a drawing made out of it. So 2 years ago, we were on. I know it sounds unrelated, but 2 years ago, my dad and I were on our way over to my aunt's house for a party, and we happened to pass by O'Hare Airport, which, funny enough, was where one of the most recent sightings of the Chicago Phantom was being seen.
I've been down there.
Yes, on the way there and the way back, nothing actually happened. But later that night when I got home and when I went to sleep for the night, I had probably one of the most bizarre dreams I've ever had in my life. I mean, I still can't remember exactly what was going on, even when it was recent, but it was as I remember in the dream, it was just like pitch black. And there's this thing standing in front of me. It has these giant wings, very much like what you see here in the back.
Yeah.
And one thing, as they always say, the one thing I remember in this dream was its eyes. They were just these big red eyes almost. I mean, if it had a head, I mean, they were big eyes. I mean, if it had a head, the head had to have been bigger.
Eclipsing the eyes, yeah.
Yeah. And I woke up and it freaked me out. I mean, I don't usually have nightmares very often, but this was, I mean, I've had nightmares, but this was unlike any other nightmare I ever had.
Almost like a night terror.
It was like a night terror. I didn't scream or anything. I just woke up thinking, was this really a dream or was I really experiencing something? It felt very uncomfortable. And while the memory was still fresh, I actually decided, I don't do drawings very often, but I actually made a drawing from what I saw in my dream. And this is the actual drawing that I made. Let me turn off the screen. Oh, wait, hang on. Let me get the blue screen off because it's interfering with it.
It looked cool for a second there. I was like, oh, it is actually fun.
Yeah. Now you guys, this is the actual drawing I made.
Okay.
Shit. Yeah.
Yeah, no thanks. I'm good.
And it was just like standing there. I couldn't tell in the dream if I was outside or if it was like in a cave or something. Wait, what?
It's like a baby bat.
It had the bat-like wings.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, I'm not much of a sketcher.
It's just like Mothman, isn't it? Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not much of a sketcher, but this is as close as I can get to really making a drawing of it. So the conclusion that I have drawn of this thing was that this must have somewhat been the same creature that has been seen, in Point Pleasant and in Chicago. So it's still a little bit unsettling for me to even look at, even though
I really like that you still have that. I like that you still have.
Yeah,
that's pretty awesome.
I need to get it framed so that way it's still
yeah,
have it.
definitely keep older things like that.
Yeah.
I've never really been, like you said, a real talented artist or drawer, but this was something that I had to make while the memory was still fresh. I mean, I even wrote about it on Facebook, shortly afterwards, and I even said, was it the Mothman that I've encountered? I have no idea. I do know that this was something I've never had experienced before, especially in dreams. Yeah, whatever it was that was in this dream, obviously was making some kind of contact. I mean, it obviously was giving that feeling like as if it was trying to communicate. And of course, obviously, as we all know about the forerunner of death, what it was or what it was, when I originally said, and this was obviously prior to COVID, I said what it was or what it was attempting to try to tell me. I don't know if I really want to know about it. Now, however, you folks can think about it.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, look who came crawling back, Marty.
We are just running over, but I will just run through some of your comments because I've been reading them. Rick had quite a good comments. He says, just turn the light off to get rid of the Mothman. Or he says, just get massive UV electric lights.
It's like the biggest. That was a Mothman.
What he said is Siren Head is the scariest. Stories that can imitate cries of children and animals to lure people into the woods.
I want to go more into that because I'm assuming there's going to be a part 2 to this. I would kind of like to hear more about that. I saw her. She posted the name of it at in the beginning of the show, and I was like, "What is a Siren Head? That sounds not cool."
Yeah, it's crazy. We will go into that again, obviously, in the next show. What else we got here before we go? I just thought that was funny when she has complete.
You guys mind if I show you guys one last photograph?
Go.
So this is an actual photograph, and what's funny enough, this was kind of odd. This was actually taken around the same time when my parents and I were at Point Pleasant for the 50th anniversary. This was supposedly a photograph that supposedly may have been the first ever photographic evidence of the Mothman. Now, yes, there is a good chance it could be a fake. It could just be a bird. Let's see what you guys think quickly, and then obviously we'll put an end to it. So this was taken, like I said, a few days before we arrived. Once again, 3 or 4 photographs were taken. And the person that took it is anonymous. He doesn't want people to know. And this is what he actually captured.
Yeah, I've seen that, yeah.
What?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Probably it's the Mothman. You can see the wings, the human-shaped torso, and these legs that are kind of dangling out. And now they're having several requests for this person to come on these shows, to talk about it.
It's now, Mike Ricksecker.
But it's still an interesting form. Now, there are some people who are debunking it. There is one good way that they've debunked it, is that how do we not know that it could be a bird, and maybe those dangling legs you see behind it, it could be a snake or something that they captured, but I'm not really fully convinced if it's really snake.
Yeah, but not only.
Well, I mean, the only thing I could.
I was just gonna say, if it was a snake, the way that it is, it would. Yeah, not only would it be down, but it's just like fighting gravity and the way that the air would be moving against it. Like it should be. If it was a snake, it'd be curled the opposite direction because it's in the beak and it's heading this way. So it should be. I don't know. It makes sense from.
I'm thinking why. I know what you're saying, but I'm thinking looking at that, on the left, I see a head. And then the body, and then the legs to the right. That's what I see.
Yeah, me too. But I was trying to see it from what Nick was saying, where it's like if it's a bird and it's got the snake in its mouth, the snake being the legs.
Yeah.
Maybe it's holding it with its feet.
You also have to remember. You also have to remember too. I mean, I don't know too many birds that really actually go after snakes. I mean. I don't know if even owl. I mean, it's pretty big. I mean, the only other thing I can think of is maybe an owl. I'm not entirely sure. I don't even know if they go after owls, but I mean, it's after snakes. But
I don't know. That's a tricky one. I mean, you can see like the tree's blurry, but then the bit in the middle is not that blurry. I don't know.
Yeah, we had a good answer.
It's interesting to look at, but there's many other ones out there that can be pretty much. Like there was one when I was putting all this information together, I actually remember talking to one person who lived in the Chicago area, and she claimed that they saw the Mothman when they were getting home. Well, here was the problem. All they told me was they were driving down the road one night. They saw something large up in the trees, standing by the trees. They could see the reflective eyes. They see the wingspan, but they don't really say it does too much. I mean, she didn't really give me a lot of details of what she was experiencing. I mean, her story sounded rather vague, but I think she was just simply because she was surprised at what she had seen. It was in the woods. It was dark. Like, in other words, her story wasn't adding up too well. Like, some of the things that she was telling me just couldn't be true. The trees were really high up. The branches were kind of mixed up, which sometimes may give an animal a much larger appearance. She couldn't see anything else other than these reflective red eyes. So easily, in my opinion, I just really believe she most likely had seen an owl.
Yeah, maybe.
Could be.
Yeah, so we're going to jump into the questions in a second. He says, Tuna says, birds do have snakes. Yeah, they do have snakes. We actually have, I've seen a video here where there's actually been a bird take a fox. An adult fox. We have ones here called golden eagles.
Yeah, we have eagles over here in New York. We have a lot of them.
Kill an adult fox, carry it away.
It's like birds.
Possible.
It's like birds that'll eat guinea pigs.
Yeah, I mean there is some big ass birds out there.
Yeah,
we
got them too.
Owls are badass too.
Chantel said it looks like a forced perspective, so smaller than it looks. Maybe yeah. I don't know. We don't know. But yeah, so we're going to jump into the questions. Obviously, we're running a little bit over tonight. But yeah, Marty, you're listening. This is your chance to come back on the show.
Yeah, this is redemption time.
If you lose, I'm sorry you're fired if you lose.
You're on. You said you're suspended right now. Yes, oof.
You're currently suspended just to get you to come back.
There's snowy owls.
Snow owls are beautiful.
Snow owls, yeah, we get them quite a lot around here. Like,
do you really? That's awesome.
But yeah, so let's go for it. On average, how many years longer or shorter is the life expectancy of a pop or rock star compared with the average person?
20.
20 longer or shorter?
Shorter.
Shorter.
I'm going to go shorter regardless. It's got to be shorter. I think 30 years shorter. They die quite young, a lot of them.
Look at Mick Jagger and a lot of those dudes are. Look at Keith friggin' Richards. That dude should by all means have died 30 years ago.
Adam, you mentioned about Mick Jagger. I know that for a fact because I've seen him in concert.
Yeah. Carrie's awesome. 35. And she's probably using her psychic instincts again.
No.
Yeah, exactly. Didn't we make a rule about this?
Oh, I'm reading the wrong one. Sorry, Carrie. She's saying 15.
I'm saying 32.
All right, Matt says 20 shorter. Rob says 30.
I'm saying 30.
So Marty says 35. So we'll see, Marty.
Guys, I'll be right back. My cat wants to get out. I'll be right back. Oh,
no worries, dude.
Right, we're going to go with Chantel's 25. It is, on average, pop and rock stars die 25 years younger than the average person.
All right, so Chantel got it.
Hang on, 25 years.
Yeah.
Very close, yeah.
Marty, you're not doing well here.
Marty, you're still fired.
Don't tell him that till the end. You got to save it. So even if he does be like, yeah, good job, you're still fired.
You know what it is? It's kind of like the 3 strikes rule. So guess what? He just went out on his first strike.
Oh, shit. Yo, that Mulaes telling you that, bro.
3 strikes.
No, that's real.
Strikes, you're out.
25 years younger. Yeah, they are 25 years younger, the average die.
That's insane.
Crazy. That's quite young. All right,
and
next
sad.
One.
Yeah.
For how long did the Ground Zero fire burn after the September 11th attacks on the World Trade Center?
Ooh, you'd think I know that one.
So this is for you Americans. How long did the fire burn at Ground Zero?
Oh, T, come on, buddy. This is where you should know this, bud.
Wow.
How long it took to burn?
How long did the fire burn for at Ground Zero? On the September 11th attacks.
Yeah.
I'm going to say...
It was a long time.
Yeah, I'm going to say 12 and a half hours.
Yeah, I would say...
I'm going a couple of days.
I was going to say at least a few days.
Yeah,
it took a while. They had to really...
If they put out the entire fire, it wouldn't be...
Such a long time ago.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
20 years ago.
It was a long time.
9 days.
Carrie says 9
I'm
days.
going to say 10 days.
5 days. I'm going to say 6 days.
7 days for me. So like a whole week.
Hefty?
A year.
A year? What?
I don't know. Sure. I'm not going to win. What do I care?
Hefty, you're the closest.
You live
Get
in
out of
New
here.
York.
Are you
I'm not shitting you. You're the closest. It was 100 days.
What?
100 days the fire burned before it grounds
Wow.
it. So good on you, Hefty. You
Huh.
spoke, dude.
Wow.
Huh. That's
Okay,
insane.
none of us
100
got it right.
days?
Yeah, strike two.
Martin,
Wow.
strike two. Strike two.
Ooh.
One more chance.
You need a home run now, man.
That's
Wow,
insane.
that's crazy. 100 days.
You
Jesus.
guys should fire
I had
Adam
no
for that
idea.
answer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, guess who's still in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, boss?
Go another one then.
How in that comment, lol.
Pick a fork in me. I'm done.
How many babies are born in the world every minute?
Thousands.
Every minute?
Oh man.
200,000.
300,000.
Oh,
8.6 million.
Oh.
Well, you gotta figure that's encompassing the whole world.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Absolutely.
Martin, you still got one more
You make
chance.
up- you make
He's
up-
so
He's
fired.
so fired.
You got one more chance. to come up with something.
Yeah, we're just talking about Marty's household at the moment.
Yeah.
Like.
It's
Yeah.
For him. Okay. I'm gonna have to go with
How many?
is that a day?
300.
Every minute.
Oh, every
Oh,
minute.
every minute. Oh, yeah, no, screw my answer. I take that back.
I think it's still quite high. I'm going to 200,000.
300,000.
500,000.
I'm gonna go with a million. I'm gonna go with a million.
Wait, what did Carrie say? I'm going with Carrie's 500,000. Piggybacking off of you. Sorry, Carrie.
Are you sure you want to stick with that, Marty?
Marty goes to 165. That's quite accurate, Marty, so I hope you're right.
No more babies.
Maths was pretty accurate too. It's 187,223.
If that's right, you definitely Googled it.
Still make up.
All right, so Martin, do you think you got this?
Oh, you said 300,000. I'm trying to think now. Who is closest? My maths is terrible. It's not good. Oh, Jeff, I'll give you that one, Jeff. You're the last one in there, mate.
Which
I'll
one was
give you that one.
4,200?
Yeah, the 4,200 is
He
the
guessed that because it's 420 with an extra zero at the end.
There is 245 babies are born each minute, which
What?
equates to almost 130 million a year.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
Martin,
So,
Martin,
Marty-
you're out.
you just stop
Wow.
making
He said, get him out of here.
You need a bigger house, Marty. Like,
Oh.
Here's a question that I got quickly. What are the percent chances? What is the percentage chance of Martin coming back with the hopes of him being rehired?
Final question. I'm gonna go with. You know what? I'll go high on this. I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna say 1.
What?
I'm at 0.5.
Oh.
it's been a pleasure, he says. I don't know. We have run over though, anyway. But
Yes.
Yeah, okay, the
Squid.
final answer for that then is I don't know. No,
Yeah,
zero.
fair enough.
Yeah, you know what?
zero. He
Oh,
needs
he
to.
got it. He said just 0. Yep, there you go.
We should do a thumbnail right with his picture as well and have an X through it.
Yeah.
Or like one of those Ghostbusters things with a circle and a line through it, like just, and Marty's like in the picture. Oh man.
Jeff, I was asking. Jeff,
Sorry,
I was
Jeff.
asking, what are the chances of Martin coming back without getting fired?
COVID lockdown baby boom, definitely. Like I think there is a huge baby boom at the moment. I see pregnant people everywhere at the moment. It's honestly in work, obviously because I work on the tills and stuff. There's pregnant woman after pregnant one.
Well, what are you gonna do? You're stuck home all day. There's only a couple things you know. I'm not sure exactly how biology works, but
yeah, we have run over unfortunately. It's been an awesome show. We are going to do obviously more of these cryptids and stuff like that. It is wicked.
Martin.
Next week, guys, if you want to watch anything, if you want us to do anything next week, any ideas for what you want to see, let us know. You want to do mermaids?
Mermaids.
That'll be for cryptids and stuff. We'll do that.
No, just mermaids.
A divorce case explosion. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's been awesome. We will obviously be back next week, Friday, 8 p.m. UK, obviously, and 3 p.m. your time. I'm not wrong. Marty, you're definitely fired.
Oh, shit.
No,
wow.
Marty will be on next week.
We should do a live show.
Have you guys fired me?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. A little memorial service for him. No, he will hopefully be back on next week. Hope the game went well anyway, Marty. We love you, dude.
Yeah, dude. And Tuna, we love you. Everybody in the comments, thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, definitely. It's an absolute cracking show with you guys. We have a good laugh. It's awesome.
We are going to have more guests eventually.
We're away this weekend. Obviously going to go see my dad, so I won't be getting a video up. I will try my hardest to get it up for Tuesday for you guys. I have got one to review, so I will get it up.
Which one we should do?
What?
The one where you think something is not.
What?
You know, and how people think that Pikachu had like a brown tail, but actually it's like Mandela.
Mandela effect. Oh, that's a good one.
Mandela effect one's a good one.
Oh,
anyway,
that's a good idea. Oh, that's a good idea. All right,
we've got some awesome. So, guys, if you got any ideas as well, let us know. We'll this is not really like a paranormal show. We do anything now.
Yeah, we just don't care.
Paranormal.
No, we will get paranormal shows in there.
Amy conspiracy.
But yeah, Marty, again, you're fired, dude. Stop.
Yeah, you're fired.
You can stop watching.
Yeah.
Anyway. Leave a like though, and share the video before you go.
Yeah, and go job hunting.
Yeah.
And subscribe. Because you too could save Marty's job.
He's going to be like in the Marco Polo's ranting now.
All right, anyway, we're going to wrap it up anyway. But we will see you next week, guys. Hefty, you got anything going on quickly?
No, but sub to everybody here's channel. We all do our own fun stuff in our own respect. Look forward to you guys want to try to do the American versus Brits for next weekend?
Yes, we're going to do that
next weekend.
Yeah, next Sunday. Okay, next
weekend. Next weekend.
Yeah, cool with you, Nick. Cool. All right, so come check out on youtube.com/FTV next week for the Brits versus Americans.
I actually just realized I can't do it this Sunday anyway because, even though Memorial Day is on Monday, we are my mom's side of the family's coming out, so I got stuff going on with family too. So yeah, next weekend.
T is asking what your channel is, Nick, real quick.
Jeff, it's just my simple name, as you can see here. It's Nick Mulaes. For those that want to check out my channel, obviously I've done a number of horror audiobooks based on tribute books for the scary stories to tell in the dark books. That's not the original trilogy, but tribute books that have been made. And I'm actually currently in the works of making a new one. I had to take a few days off before I started doing it again because, after you come from a trip, you're still kind of tired from it. So, but I've already recorded about 5 stories already, so I'm about almost halfway there. There's 17 stories in this one.
And Adam just
it's like creme brulee.
I can't help it.
It's like being excited for my stories.
All right, but anyway, we will see you next week, guys. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
And I will, Tuna. Hit me up, LordHefty@gmail.com. LordHefty@gmail.com. Hit me up, Tuna.
And we'll catch you next week. Take it easy, guys. Where's my thing?
Care.
And
Memorial Day weekend.
No. This first, Tom.
What's the matter?
You do the outro first.
I'm sorry. I get me commands.
Dude, digital stuff is hard.
It is, especially when you're just tired.
I know it is. Oh boy.
All right, love you guys. Catch you later. Have a good week, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Spooky.